Have you ever been to a seafood buffet before? SEA, eh? Not SEE. Although it's basically the same thing. Anyways, imagine you got those huge shrimps, some calamari, some clams, and some mussels. Yup. Yeah. Sauteed slash cooked in front of you. It's already looking delicious, Dread. And more of this to come as we're buffet hopping from the cheap to the expensive. Yeah. By the way, and this is just a preview of the expensive here. Ooh, what's up, Trinbago Vibe peeps? Welcome to an episode of Trinbago Vibes. And we're kicking this one off at Pizza Hut Roxy Roundabout. You know, at the cheapest one to boot. Now this occurs Monday to Thursdays between 11 a.m. and 2 p.m. You know, aka lunch. Also on Sundays from 11 a.m. to 4 p.m. And you got your pepperoni pizza, beef pizza, beef and pine, a veggie pizza, and of course your plain cheese pizza. Yeah, we'll be getting a slice of each except for the beef. But we'll definitely be getting some of these cinnamon rolls later in this one as well. You also got 3 types of breadsticks and this macaroni, pesto pasta, which we'll get back to in the next rounds. But for now, it's pizza time! Let the piling begin. Carbs, carbs, and more carbs for 3 hours straight. If you can't make, or pace yourself, you really can't go wrong with this actually. It's some good pizza in my opinion. Just expect a line, especially during the week around lunchtime. But you just got to be patient, as the peeps in front of you will give you a chance to pace yourself. And for the content, I'm biting into each pizza just to make sure it's the same quality you get outside these buffet hours. And after trying a few, I must admit, it's consistent. And well, we also got a picture of sweet drink, aka soda, yeah, for additional 10 TT, which is the perfect combo for this meal. Even though the sweetness might close you in the stomach a little bit. But anyways, round 2. Gotta get some green macaroni and some cinnamon breadsticks as we had the cheese one earlier. And finally, a little dessert, the cinnamon roll. Now, the cinnamon rolls weren't overly sweet, which is how I liked it, because it hit the spot for me. And the pesto pasta, what I call the green macaroni, it wasn't too bad either, surprisingly. Yeah. And this bill came up to about 72 TT, which includes service charge and taxes. Well, really 135 for 2 peeps, which is kind of amazing for like a buffet. And this is the cheapest one, but also level carbs, which can fill you quickly. But still, I'll definitely tap back for this for sure. Yeah. All right. On to the next one, and the price range just keep going up and up from here on in. So make sure and hit that like button there. It helps a lot. Trinbago Vibes. All right, spot number 2 is in Shogunas Buffet King. Right here in Center Point Mall in Shogunas. Right, is basically along the side of the main road and Ramsaran Street. So it's in the same compound as the Price Club. But anyway, so this time we are checking out the Buffet King, which is located on the eastern side of the compound. Yeah, the side closest to the highway. And it's basically Chinese food. One side was vegetarian dishes, the next side were the meat dishes. It was basically chicken. The only options were the SHAQ and the beef. I didn't have any beef because I don't really eat beef, but I did have the SHAQ, the oyster chicken, oysters, regular Chinese style chicken, the pepper chicken, which was flavorful, but it's similar to the Chinese style chicken. And for buffet, right, I would always go to the meat first and have all the meat. Like on this, I'd just be eating meat right through if I had to go to these kind of buffets. Look at this spread, right? I just took a little bit of everything to taste it, and everything tastes good. It was seasoned well. Wasn't too much of a fan of the dumpling. Yeah, I wasn't a fan of this dumpling. The wontons, it was decent, but everything else, it tasted pretty well. Now for the second plate, I went the vegetarian route, right? And the rice, it was alright, but the noodles and the chow mein and the potato, it was seasoned well. The paw, look at this. I'll open up this paw right now. It's a vegetarian paw. I think it's a jam. inside, but it tastes good though. And the veggie wontons was okay. I prefer the chicken wontons over this. Yeah, so for the the third rounds, I just went for all the meat, and I didn't get the chicken steam wontons the first rounds because it was finished. So I picked this up, and it was a decent steam wontons. I actually prefer the steam wontons over the fried wontons. I guess because the fried wontons wasn't tasting as fresh or crispy, because I guess it's there for a while. I mean, they probably make it and replenish it and everything. But yeah, and it was basically food, right? So this is what you get in the 160 to 170 category here, Buffet King. So we came from, a spot that is basically carbs, strictly carbs. And now we have a combination, it's Chinese food. So we came from pizza, we know Chinese food. We're gonna take it up a notch, So we came from 55 TT, this is the 160 TT. With taxes, everything came up to like 172, roughly, TT, and now we're going up like double this. Yeah, Trinbago Vibes. Alright, on to the third and final spot. Oh yeah, I forget to mention, right, the Buffet King has their buffet options on Mondays and Wednesdays right now, from about 11:30 a.m. till about 8:30 in the night. So yeah, so basically it's from lunchtime straight down to the evening on Mondays and Wednesdays, and they have accommodation for a good bit of people. And there's only Chinese food that you get in this buffet, so there's no like dessert or anything. You could pay an additional cost for that, as well as drinks. By the way, right, in this one we are doing spots that mainly go for lunch and dinner. So the next spot we head into would be more for dinner time, because it's from 5:30 till whatever 10 o'clock in the night. But yeah, but before that, just want to know, let me know in the comments below if you all know other buffet spots and exactly where they are and whatnot. Yeah, because sometimes people would come and check this, check that, and so on and so on. It's like, for which part? Because some of these places, they don't really have an exact address. Like, I know there's a buffet spot like in Arima, and I've been trying to find it where exactly this is, and I can't seem to find anything online. Probably because, I don't know, I'm not that good in doing the research. But anyway, don't forget to hit the like button if you're enjoying this one. Alright, and we're gonna change out into a little something more formal-ish. Not really formal, but out of the t-shirt into, probably a polo. Trinbago Vibes. Alright. So yeah, this is the final spot in this buffet hopping episode. So this one will be a more expensive one. Welcome to Crave. Located in Turuba Plaza in Marabella. So the corner of the San Fernando Bypass and Turuba Road. And it's one of the more fancier spots here in South Trinidad. By the way, shout out all the staff in these spots, especially the waitresses. Yeah, the ones who serve me, the servers, as they were super friendly and professional. Now, I wouldn't lie, the decor and ambience here at Crave is amazing and beautiful. So this buffet is 365 TT, which is about $52.25 US, $52.25 US, and it is basically seafood, but you have other options as well, like, let's go through these stations. There's a wide range of desserts, which we'll talk back to in a little bit. There's a salad bar, which when you really come for a buffet, you don't really tackle, so to speak. And then you go to some of the main courses here.
We have fish in our sauce. We have this yummy vegetables, the zucchini and tomato.
Zucchini, okay, and roast potatoes.
Right. And a basil pesto rice. Okay?
Right. Definitely come to try the lamb. I mean, it's a buffet, so how you gotta do it? Just eat meat. Let's go for all the meat options. Pro tip. But anyway, this was pretty cool though. Well, I went with the shrimp, some big shrimps, boy. Some mussels, some clams, some calamari, sauteed in some butter and some salt and some onions and sweet peppers. Like, the calamari was aight, but you see the mussels and the clams and that shrimp, my gosh, delicious, full of flavor. Now, the next thing, this soup also contains the same things we had just now, except it's a soup, the classic seafood soup. So it have some, well, I went with the mussels, they have clams, they have calamari in it, and dread. That soup was nice, was warm, was flavorful, was hitting the spot. Like, honestly, I could go back and just have a whole set of these mussels because I really love mussels. Mussels is like one of the best things I could ever eat. But in any event, let's move on to the meats because that's what we're here for. You know? Now, lamb, yes please. Chicken, of course. Fish, that's what we're here for. Oh, I said that earlier, yeah. Everything else, nah. I'm sure it'll taste good, but in this round, we just go in strictly to eat the meat. Now, the lamb, it was nice. Don't get me wrong, the flavors was well balanced and everything, but it's a bit chewy for me. However, you see this fish? Thread, this was seasoned properly, delicious. Whatever sauce that they just had it in, wow. Now, and the chicken, well, I mean, the chicken could have been a little more tender, but still the flavor was on point and it just went down good in my belly. Yeah. Now, because I'm reviewing this, I am going to show you all the pasta station. Yeah. Now, the problem with having pasta in this kind of buffet is like when you're eating all this kind of food is that it's full you. Carbs is full you and sweet is fill you. So that's why you always leave that for last. If you really want that pasta, and it's pretty awesome that you get to choose the type of pasta you want, such as penne, fettuccine, or linguine. By the way, this is the second live station they have at this buffet. You know, basically they make it on the spot for you. And the first one was at the beginning of this video. And this is all part of the experience in this price range at Crave. And I went with a penne pasta with all the veggies, cause you know, why not? And I went with the marinara sauce here for the pasta because in the last station, the station with the mussels, the calamari, the shrimps and stuff, I went with the white sauce kind of thing. I forgot its name. Yeah. So this time marinara and the pasta, well, can't go wrong with this pasta at all, especially how they make it fresh on the spot. Yeah. And this is probably my downfall here. Yeah. Because carbs will fill you in a buffet. It's one of the things you should avoid. But anyway, there's always room for dessert. But just before, I had to try their sushi. Well, more like their rolls, as they were cooked. So technically not sushi. Anywho, they had veggie, chicken, and salmon. Of course, your boy went with chicken and salmon. Honestly, veggie sushi, you know, close quotation, makes no sense to me. And the chicken was alright, but the salmon, as expected, was much more flavorful. By the way, if this was raw salmon, you know, raw pink salmon, it would have elevated the flavor profile of this sushi even more, in my opinion. But in this case, they are catering for everyone, I guess. Now, like I mentioned before, there's always room for dessert. Now let's go. Trinbago Vibes. Now I got me some cheesecake, an eclair, some chocolate mousse, and a type of flan, which looked amazing and tasted super delicious. Even though my belly was extremely filled at this point, these desserts just completed the buffet experience at Crave restaurant, which occurs every Wednesday from 5 p.m. till. So make sure to call and make a reservation because it tends to get a good crowd as the night progresses. Yeah, so this is Crave in Marabella in South, and this is the more expensive end of the buffet. So those are 3 buffet spots, you know, from the cheapest Pizza Hut to like a middle-ish, which was Buffet King, to the expensive, which was Crave. And honestly, I find Crave was, well, expensive, but it's still not bad for what you got, you know, especially in terms of seafood. Like if you go and order that seafood platter I had, that alone would have come up to half what I paid for overall, you know. And honestly, Buffet King is not one I would go back to. Yeah, I just think that just food only, no dessert for that price range. It really cut it for me. The food, it was decent. The range, it was a little bit limited. But yeah. So hope you all enjoyed this one, and I'll see you all in the next one. This was Buffet Hopping, you know, volume 1. Let me know in the comments below any more buffet spots you know, any ones you want me to check out in future videos. And don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe if you haven't already. Alright, I'll go on later. You see this fish? Red teal.